That was seamless, wasn't it? I hope everyone can hear me. Yeah. Good. I want to thank Paul and the MND and Me Foundation for inviting me along this afternoon to talk with you and tell you a little bit about how our lives have changed over the last few years. It's very humbling to be with you on such an important day for the Foundation. Its ongoing support for all of us, including our carers who are affected by this disease, is essential. To know that today contributes also immensely to the ongoing research for a cause and a cure absolutely filled my heart. As Paul introduced, my name is John Hamlin. Lisa and I have been married for 27 years. We have two sons, Jackson, who turned 21 last year, and McLean, who pushed me up on stage, who will shortly turn 20. I'm 49 and I've got MND. We hear that everyone's story of MND, of diagnosis and progression is different. It has no timetables, no protocols that it follows, and it doesn't give a rat's who you are, what you've achieved, or what you have planned for this afternoon, tomorrow, next week, or the rest of your lives. When I was officially diagnosed in June 2016, I remember Lisa and I sitting with Rob, Nicole, and some visiting neurologists from around the world. I remember, and it's not likely we'll ever forget, when Rob answered our seemingly silly question, we just want to know what it is, with, well, it's MND. Lisa and I just smiled. Then I remember thinking, he must think we're mad, smiling when he just told me I'm going to die. We're not mad, but to understand why we both smiled, I need to take you back to mid-2012. I had just been named Clubman of the Year at the Mighty Gorillas. The simple task you put on my work pants was becoming a balancing act, which I unfortunately was getting worse at, and the seemingly basic exercise of running on a football field ended up with me somehow tripping over myself. Then in December 2012, I was admitted to the Royal Stroke Ward for an episode that presented itself like a stroke, but it wasn't. Maybe it was just one of those weird, unexplained things. Maybe I had just dodged a bullet. So off we went, trying to put this behind us and get on with life. And what better way to get on with life than go on a cruise? What followed up until February 2016, when I first met Rob, was over 3 years of poking, prodding, MRIs, CTs, lumbar punctures, 6 months worth of infusions, blood samples being sent to the UK, anger through frustration, depression, head scratching, and finally watching these funny little twitches appear. First in my legs, then in my arms, face, and even on my toes. Those twitches are now everywhere. Fast forward to May 2014. I was working in the liquor industry for Australia's largest wine company when all of this was happening. My balance and walking had become very unsteady. I was having trouble standing, talking when I was talking to people who'd come along to the so-called wine expert to talk about food and wine mashing. I remember the last wine dinner I ever hosted. I had to stand behind and hold on to a lectern to steady myself. I'm sure all of those in attendance must have thought that I'd been sampling every bottle beforehand. It was a very confronting moment for me. I thought I was going to fall. I remember feeling I was starting to lose control. It was when all of this started happening that I knew driving was no longer a very good idea for me or anyone else on the road. This impacted both work and our regular road trips. So Lisa took over behind the wheel full time. I'm extremely fortunate. While my employer stood by me through all of this, I was eventually and thankfully made redundant and given what I thought was a great opportunity to concentrate on my health. Who knows, maybe without the pressures of full-time employment, my body would just right itself and I could just go back to a normal active life. I was really missing our camping adventures, playing over 45 Aussie rules, and volunteering behind the bar at the footy club. But nothing changed and things just seemed to be progressing. So the neurologist I was seeing at the time, who was absolutely fantastic to our family, suggested some nerve study tests. From there, as they say, the rest is history. Enter Rob and his incredible team. So our smiles on the day of diagnosis were more of a show of relief at finally knowing what we were dealing with. Yes, the fallout and upheaval would come, but for the time being we were just happy to be able to put a name to what I had, even though we both knew what it meant in the long term. And how do you deal with news like that? Well, obviously you pack up the car and have a holiday. On the day I was diagnosed, the day Rob probably thought he was dealing with two certified lunatics, we met what seemed to be a cast of thousands. In that cast was Sue, one of the research coordinators. Rob had mentioned about becoming involved in some research programs. We were under no illusions as to what was going to happen to me over the next 1, 2, or hopefully 20 years. After all, like any good patient, we had consulted Dr. Google for a second opinion, and his prognosis wasn't very good either. Sue explained to us, quite sensitively I must add, about all the research programs that were happening. And without sounding strange again, I was quite excited at the prospect of being involved. So I signed up that day to being involved in whatever research programs the team had up and running. But I knew none of this was going to help me. We don't know exactly what causes MND. We all know there is no effective treatment and we all know there is no cure. Everyone knows that all of us who have MND will eventually succumb to the disease. I'm one of those sporadic cases. There is no history of MND or any other neurodegenerative diseases in my family. Like I said earlier, MND has no protocols. So here we are, nearly 2 years down the track. My progression has been relatively slow, I think. Believe me, I have my days when it's hard to walk. I can't lift my arms above my head. My voice just doesn't want to play the game and I avoid holding anything made of glass because I will drop it. I take medications daily to help prevent reflux and relax the muscles in my throat. I also take the one drug that may add 3 months to my life expectancy. But every 3 months I very much look forward to spending the morning with Sue and Derek, the mad scientists in their research rooms. I've never met two more passionate and caring individuals who have dedicated their lives to finding a cure. They even had my big sister Donna signing up for some testing and a muscle biopsy. I sit in their bod pod, try to avoid their lying scales, rest under their canopy where my energy output is measured, then finally sing how long I can hold my leg in the air while the energy output is measured again. I've been really disappointed with my last few efforts. I knew my legs were getting weaker, but I didn't realise by how much. But hey, that's MND. Finally, Kate or Sue come in to take some blood samples. It seems like every scientist in Queensland wants a sample. Or at least that's the way it looks when I'm sitting there. But if I thought that the next guy could be the one that gives up an MND secret, I would gladly sit there until they had to start putting blood back in. That's how important this MND research is. There must be a secret just waiting to be discovered. It's 2018. 2 people should not have to be diagnosed each day, and 2 people should not have to die each day from this terrible disease. The MND and Me Foundation has a 2-pronged approach to MND, to care and to cure. While the Foundation contributes financially to research via a number of grants and programs, it has also become a critical cog in the support wheel for many living with MND, especially those angels on earth who are our full-time carers, our children, our brothers, our sisters, our parents and our dear friends. Lisa has greatly benefited from the MND and Me Mindfulness program, and my extended family has a greater understanding of MND from the information sessions that feature topical guests from the health fraternity. These sessions, with their confronting yet such vital information on what is going to happen to me, really help us better manage symptoms and better prepare us for the next phase. MND and Me has recently partnered with other progressive neurological disease organisations to develop a care coordination service. This approach means the Foundation is able to share costs, take advantage of existing infrastructure, as well as share knowledge and expertise to deliver the highest quality service to people living with MND. The Foundation's goal is to expand this service to a truly statewide program in the not too distant future, to ensure all Queenslanders have access to best practice care and support. This care strategy is particularly important to aid us in the many things that you must think about because of an MND diagnosis. Sourcing equipment like wheelchairs, hoists, breathing machines, a modified vehicle, or even the right bed. But Julia, who is here today, is another one of those angels on earth. She effortlessly guides us through the jungle that is accessing the NDIS, or securing some government assistance to help pay for all this essential equipment. The timing is critical, as the only constant in having MND is that your needs change all of the time, and usually when you least expect it. Another one of the great initiatives that MND and Me supports is voice banking. About 12 months ago, I finished my voice banking to ensure my own voice can still be heard when the time comes. What I've experienced, and you can see from all of this, is that the MND and Me Foundation really lives and breathes one of its main aims, and that no one should have to face anything alone. That's what makes us all feel like we're part of a truly caring and loving family, albeit a family that all of us would prefer not to be part of. But like any family, we're here to support all its members, whether it's cheering on the competitors at the corporate swim, singing along at Shinzo's 40-hour jam, or having a tear when I read about little Ivy, who raised $100 by selling her baking and craft at a local market stall, all for people who are affected by MND. This disease will try its best, but it won't stop me. I acknowledge that it will win the war, but I'm going to win many battles before then. Yes, I've had to slow down a little bit, but MND doesn't hurt me, and I never feel ill from it. I just get really tired. I count myself extremely lucky because of that. I've continued my lifestyle, albeit with a few necessary modifications. I've continued to spend time with those that I love dearly, doing what we always did, plus a few new guilty pleasures. I even recorded a CD before my voice started changing. I have a huge support network of family and friends around me who have helped modify our house and keep us all too busy to worry about the future too much. For this I'm very grateful. It's odd, but sometimes it's very easy to even forget that you have got MND. Until that nagging little twitching starts up again, my voice falters, I try to walk in a straight line, and my hands start cramping up. Then I think, bugger, I forgot. But then it's so easy to remind myself that I have so much in life to be thankful for. That's why I'll keep fighting and keep doing my part until I can do no more. Blood samples, tissue samples, cognitive testing, anything. Anything that might give these incredible researchers, and some of those are here today, a hint. So now I'm asking you to do what you can to enable Scott's legacy to continue. We must continue to support those who have and will be affected by this crappy disease, and to increase the amount of research being conducted so that we will find a cure and a cause. But research and support costs. If someday this research can send this disease to the annals of history, then every cent has been very well spent. It's just that important. Who knows, maybe it's your support that pays for the next vial of blood that gives up another little secret, or pays for someone else to get the support they need. So thank you, MND and Me, for inviting me to address you today. Thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for listening. I encourage you to bid for some of the amazing prizes, and please enjoy your afternoon.